The Arkham Saga is rightly praised as one of the greatest Batman stories that has ever been told. But what if the ultimate chapter, the part that defined the Dark Knight in his prime, is the one that pushed him past his breaking point and forged him into one of the greatest superheroes of all time? We are told the legend was tested in Arkham Asylum, but that was only a prelude to the symphony of chaos this game follows. The true test was born in a fire and anarchy of a single, inescapable night. This is the story of a seasoned Batman at the top of his abilities, was systematically stripped out of all control and forced to confront the true bloody war he had on crime, and reborn not as a vigilante, but as a tragic hero. Before we descend into the prison itself, we must acknowledge the colossal shadow cast by its predecessor. When Batman Arkham City arrived in 2011, it carried the weight of Arkham Asylum's revolutionary success. However, this time, there was no question of potential. There was only the crushing weight of this such a high of expectations. The legendary developer Rocksteady was back in full in action. And the question on everybody's mind would be, is Arkham City going to be as good as its predecessor? Upon launch, the reception was a deafening roar of universal acclaim. Critics and players alike lauded its sprawling open world, its masterfully refined gameplay, and ambitious labyrinth story. It was immediately hailed as a perfect sequel, bigger, darker, and better in every conceivable way. That reputation has not only endured, but it crystallized into a legend. But beneath the scores and all the good reviews lies the game's defining strength. Its narrative. Freed from the burden of origin or exposition, Rocksteady had a unique opportunity not to just continue the story, but to escalate it into an epic. They chose to tell a story about a Batman at the absolute height of his power, facing a threat so vast it dwarfed anything he had ever known. This is not a Batman fighting for control of an isolated asylum. This Batman must contend with the walled-off burden of the city. It's a powder keg lorded over by the sinister psychiatrist Hugo Strange, a man who not only runs the prison, but holds ultimate power over Batman. He knows he is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is publicly arrested and thrown in jail where all those people that he hunted and beat up are now there with him. The decaying streets are a war zone where Gotham's most notorious villains, Joker, Penguin, Two-Face, have carved out fiefdoms in a brutal gang war. Yet, the true threat remains shrouded in mystery. Stranger's Protocol 10, a secret catastrophic event scheduled to commence in just one night. Batman has 10 hours to unravel a conspiracy, break out of the prison that was trying to break him, and then stop Strange all in the same night. This is just not another night on the job for Batman. It is a descent into a grand social experiment to prove that Batman's methods are just as insane as his villains. It's a perfect storm, and Bruce Wayne is walking straight into the eye. And before I continue the rest of the video, y'all did crazy. Y'all broke the fucking like goal. I think it was like 16 likes. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I think like 99% of y'all ain't even like subscribed. So subscribe to me. Road to 200, only 3 subs away as of right now. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. The story ignites with Bruce Wayne deprived of his suit and gadgets, being processed into his new super prison. But even without the cowl, his power is insane. An aura of predatory dominance. He moves with a brutal, terrifying efficiency. The common thugs and inmates are not obstacles, not even threats. And Batman's confidence is absolute. This is Batman at the peak of his confidence and where he's the most powerful. His first true test fittingly comes from the Joker. The clown is rotting away in Sion's steel mill, sicker and more volatile than ever from his time exposure in Asylum. But this is no simple boss fight. It's a chaotic, desperate scramble that doesn't end with a victory, but with a horrifying, intimate violation. Joker ambushes Batman and performs a blood transfusion, infecting Joker's blood into the Dark Knight because Joker is already dying and he's diseased, so now it's gonna fuck up Batman. I mean, this single moment shatters the entire foundation of Batman's mission. His crusade is no longer about saving Gotham, it's about saving himself. The Joker doesn't want to kill him, he has parasitically linked their fates, making Batman's survival dependent on finding a cure for the both of them. The ticking clock is now very personal. His own mortality is now the primary antagonist. His invincibility is an illusion, and the Batman is completely unprepared for the psychological toll it's going to take on him. As he claws his way through the city, he's ambushed by the Penguin at his museum headquarters. Here, Penguin reveals his prized trophy, a captive Mr. Freeze, the one man in Arkham City with the knowledge to engineer a cure. The path forward is very clear, but it is a gauntlet of violence, a maze built from old rivals and brute force. This journey that Batman is going through is one of the most formative in the entire series. It is not a simple crusade, it is a desperate scramble for survival. For the first time, Batman is truly facing his own mortality. He isn't fighting for abstract justice, he's fighting for his next breath. The eternal struggle is mirrored in the gameplay itself. Mashing buttons and doing all that extra shit will just get you killed. You, the player, are forced to adapt alongside Batman, which I think is cool because, it's like a little interactive thing. Anyway, you must become a predator, using the environment and instilling fear, because a direct fight could be your last. After dismantling Penguin's operation and freeing Mr. Freeze, a glimmer of hope appears. Freeze confirms that he can find a cure for Batman, but he's missing a critical enzyme that has degraded over time.
Some kind of reforming enzyme. Without it, it breaks down before it can help its host.
Shit. I've seen this before.
Finding a suitable enzyme is not the only problem. It needs to be adapted, bonded to human DNA.
Bruce realizes he can't win this with brute force, or he can't even win this with his intellect anymore either. The mission concludes not in victory, but in a new, more desperate race against time. He wasn't humbled by a villain, he was humbled by himself, which is crazy, because it's Batman. This is the first profound lesson of the night. Strength and skill are meaningless when your own body becomes your enemy. The Batman's real test has only just begun. Shaken but determined, Batman pursues the enzyme for the cure, a trail that leads him to the legendary League of Assassins. The trails that he leads on, they feel too personal, like they were designed for him. The truth is unveiled when the leader emerges, Ra's al Ghul. This was never a mission for a cure, it was an audition. The entire universe pivots. Batman has met the true architect of his ordeal, the master pulling Hugo Strange's strings. Try saying that 10 times fast. The League, Arkham City, and Protocol 10 were all an elaborate scheme. It was all orchestrated by Ra's al Ghul to test the man he wished to be his heir. Ra doesn't want to kill Batman. He wants Batman to ascend. The chaos is amplified by Talia al Ghul. I probably butchered that. It's okay though. Who offers Bruce a third path. Immortality with her. The stakes are really personal. In a defining moment, Batman refuses a life-giving Lazarus pit. I just fucking choked. Confounding Talia and carving a fundamental law of his existence in stone, he will not compromise his soul, not even for his own life. The brutal education of this long night reaches its height. The Wonder Tower. The side villains have been contained, but then Protocol 10 is sadly activated. Hugo Strange orchestrates a full-scale missile barrage on the inmates, turning Arkham City into his personal abrogator. Then, Batman finally reaches the summit. He is no longer just a fighter, he is a desperate survivor. His final tests await. The first is Strange himself. He was a mere pawn for Ra, who emerges and promptly ends Strange. The true mastermind is here, and poised to burn Gotham to the ground. In an instant, Batman's objective shifts again. He must defeat an immortal who believes murder is salvation. In a moment of sheer tactical brilliance, Batman reverses the electrical charge of his own weapon to obliterate the Lazarus Pit, sustaining Ra. Before delivering a final takedown, he defeats Ra not by becoming stronger, but by being smarter, and by utterly refusing to become him. This is where Arkham City becomes the sequel, to become the ultimate trial of Batman's career. Hugo Strange's psychological warfare taught him that his own identity was his problem. The city's chaos forced him to learn the brutal art of triage. But it was the Joker who delivered the soul-altering lesson. Joker wasn't a criminal to be outsmarted. He was a dying artist devoted to their shared legacy. By forcing Batman to share his fate, he teaches Bruce he is at war with an evil that cannot be punched into submission. The single realization forces him to evolve from a guardian into a man grappling with his own limits. Final showdown is not a fistfight, but a battle of wills in the Monarch Theater. The Joker holds Talia hostage, dangling the cure as a prize. He presents Batman with the ultimate choice: save the woman he loves or uphold his code by letting the Joker perish. He wants to prove that even the bat will break for love. The choice that will define him is made for him, only to be murdered by the clown. In the chaos, Batman attacks the Joker, making him drop the last vital. He looks down at this agent of pure chaos, this man who's architected so much pain, and tells him the devastating truth: even after everything you've done, I still would have saved you. Well, that wraps up today's story of Batman Arkham City. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. Give me the 10 likes and I'll do another game, of course. I mean, shit, that's all I ever do. Check out my clothing brand, One Stream Clothing. The website will be linked in the description. I'll see y'all boys later.